Ni hao and hello from the Dukascopy TV studio in Geneva. We're talking about doing business in China and what are the success factors with Helen Chao Ying-Hu. She is partner from Business X Union in Switzerland, and Yishi Pan. She is manager of YoYo Mobile, a technology startup in Shanghai. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having us.
So we're talking about the success factors of doing business in China. Could you explain the meaning of the word Guanxi? What does it stand for?
Of course, Guanxi is actually two words, Guan and Xi. Guan means relevancy and relationship, and Xi is ties. So basically, Guanxi just means personal and professional relationship among people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, and so why is it that important?
Well, Guanxi is basically what holds the Chinese society together. It's the foundation of the social fabric, and underpins all this is the element of respect. That is the most important thing to do business in China.
Okay, so everybody would certainly agree respect is important. So why is it especially important when going to China, and how should business people behave?
I think given Chinese history, Chinese people are quite sensitive in many ways. Mm-hmm. And while Chinese people are very eager to do business with the foreigners, it has not always worked out well in the past for them. So it's normal for people to be cautious. And when you start with respect, when you start with an equal relationship, you can prevent a lot of problems.
Mm-hmm. So what are most frequent mistakes of Western business people coming to China?
Well, one of it would be being too quick to judge about the Chinese culture and the Chinese people and maybe even the Chinese business model, because frankly, things are quite different in China than in the West. So one frequent mistake would be being too quick to judge and to want to impose the Western way of thinking and the Western way of doing things to the Chinese market and the Chinese business setting, even though it just doesn't work there.
Mm-hmm. So Yishi, you are working for a technology startup company, and China as a market is improving very fast or changing very fast. There's a lot of innovation. So why is tradition still important when doing business?
Well, I think tradition is what holds people together. Like Helen said, is Guanxi means connection. Deep down, it just means connection. I think connection is universal. It's not just in China, but it's also in the West. So even in an innovative business setting, like the one that I'm working in, the product we have is innovative, but the way of working with your team and with your partners, with your clients, underlying it is still a lot of traditions. For example, respect, right?
Absolutely. What's changing is not the social method or the way people interact with each other. What's changing is technology and all these things that come with it. The needs of people change because what's possible is different every single year.
Mm-hmm. So then let's have a look at it from a positive side. So if business people come to work in China, what would be really success factors? What would be best practices? What proposals could you give?
Well, I would start by saying being absolutely open-minded and very willing and flexible to adapt yourself to the Chinese market.
Absolutely. Take your time, meet people, form the right contacts, form the right networks, and then your business starts without you even forcing it.
Mm-hmm. And like one important thing is gifts. So how should gifts be exchanged with a Chinese business partner? Can you explain a little bit like what the role of gifts are?
Yeah, it's very interesting that you mentioned gifts, because that's one of the examples of common mistake that foreign businessmen would make in China, is that they don't understand that gift giving does not equal corruption in China. Gift giving is just a commonly practiced tradition or social custom. I think it should be practiced because it shows your willingness and your genuine intention to work with your Chinese partner. And it's a good first step to make both partners comfortable in this business setting. It also shows equal partnership, which is very important because, like what Helen just said, equal partnership is what a lot of Chinese businessmen aspire to. Not superior and inferior relationship, but when you give a gift, it shows equal partnership, I think.
Absolutely. Because power in China doesn't just come from dominance and force. It comes a lot from consensus and from building a relationship with other people in which you can contribute to their well-being. In fact, the person who is the most powerful, often considered in Chinese history, is the one who can give the most. So I think we have to put gift-giving in that context, and you can see the importance of that.
And at the end, it's to contribute to a bigger whole at the end.
Absolutely,
Yes.
Right?
absolutely. Everybody is part of that whole, you benefit from that whole, but you contribute to it too.
So you mentioned tradition, you mentioned respect. There are obviously a lot of things to consider before going to China, also doing business in China, but there are also a lot of opportunities. Can you sum up why it is important for companies to be there in China and doing business?
Well, why shouldn't they, right? It's one of the fastest growing economy in the world. And I think there is a lot to learn from both sides. You know, the Chinese customers and the Chinese business partners are eager to learn about the rest of the world and vice versa.
Absolutely.
Helen Chao Ying-hu and Yishi Pan, thank you very much for being here today and sharing this information with us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching. Do make sure to keep clicking back on the Dukascopy TV website for latest updates and exclusive interviews. Have a great day and see you next time.